brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good day so far, and I hope you're ready to start off your day with a whole bunch of energy. I know I am. I was up early this morning. I've been getting some stuff taken care of. Um, as you guys will know, I'll be gone this weekend. There is a couple things happening. So I'm setting up all my content so that if I can't go live and I can't do any of my stuff, you guys will still be able to get your fill of the skipper. You're like, oh, great, we got to deal with this guy. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. How are you all doing this morning? Let's get in here and we'll take a look at. And I've got my audio settings correct today. It all turned on and is working fine. Yesterday, the like everything was on, but every time I restart my computer, which I do periodically because you should, um, yeah, I've got to go in and it always wants to like set things up for things that I don't use, things that I don't use at all. Let's see. Oh, TC was first this morning. I think TC's gonna like some of the stuff I'm getting into. Um, today I do have some content planned. Like I said, I was up early. We've got Nancy in here this morning. I'm gonna make this just a little bit bigger. And then we got Nancy in here, and we got Hellhound here. Good morning, good morning. Tammy is here. Good morning. Georgie is saying good morning, Daddy. There are people mad. They are mad that she calls me Daddy. Felisa was talking about that the other day. Like, and she's like, well, she just left her husband. Okay. Like, like You do realize they've had the whole daddy's home thing on, Georgie and Coop's show for a while. Like, it's been when I go in there, they've been calling me dad, and Coop was the one that started it. So blame Coop. Blame Coop if you have a problem with it. Uh, but I find that funny. And then we got Sharon here. Good morning. I already said Hellhound. We got Mary Dale. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Who else we got? Good morning. Psycho warrior. How was your neurosis? Gary H. Good morning. The address Meal Toast Burger King is where the food bank is located. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're talking about yeah, Milltown. That okay. So first off, I'm gonna say there's a Discord out there that has been ablaze about the skipper the last couple days. I was getting screenshots from it. Oh my god, hilarious. First off, they're mad that I outed Pam Carson. And as you if you've watched here, you know that Pam Carson uses alts. And Susan Cartwright was one of her alts, and she attacked Jeremy with it. And yeah, that's her alt, and that is not even her real name. Okay, she's like, I don't use alts. Pam Carson is not her name. Her real name is Juanita, and they said I was doxing her. Um, Here's the thing: if you don't want to be, if you don't want people revealing truth about you, don't lie. Don't lie. Like, you know, like I've got my Facebook page, Veteran Nation Foundation. Like, I'm not trying to act like I'm a a fake person. I'm not. Like, I'm still me. Am I posting as me? No, I'm posting as the foundation, but I I'm not trying to um deceive people about who I am. And yeah, you're seeing that with her. And which is not surprising. TC says, "Be entertaining, or I'm quitting the show." Well, I think you're gonna like some of the stories that I'm gonna get into. Oh, and then we got Larry this morning. Good morning, Larry. I got my coffee. Got yours. We will be making our. I'm waiting on VA payment, and we will be making our final payment towards the cruise. The VA just needs to hurry up and pay us. uh, you're going full spicy today. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like for the last several days, with all the drama in the group, they have been just straight up talking about me. And yeah, I'm getting screenshots from that Discord. So, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, as an example, one person said that she didn't like me. And that she didn't like me because I think I know everything about court. Okay. Um, I don't think I know everything about court, first off. Secondly, if I'm wrong about something, I'm pretty open to say, "Hey, like I've admitted bankruptcy court, don't know much about it." However, I've been in court enough that I kind of know how things are going. And if someone thinks I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But like I w- yesterday we got the whole thing with what was it? Uh, we got the whole thing with Milltown, okay? And a viewer, a viewer of Georgie and Coop pointed out that the address, and I was the first one on there saying, "Oh, that's fraud upon the court. That is fraud upon the court." It's also perjury. It is because when you make motions, those are done on. You are attesting that you're saying the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But yeah, I was the first one out there saying, "Oh, that's fraud upon the court," and then everyone else acknowledged it. So if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But if I'm right, just give me credit for being right. I mean, especially when it comes to court, I am not a lawyer. I am not an expert. And I am the first to say I am not an expert. Psycho Warriors are so hot. Listen to Dual Weld or MG Ultra X Piper whistles are working. There are some people out there. They need some help. They definitely need some help. But hey, I'm here for it. I am here for it. Okay, I'm gonna download a couple things here that are happening in the news. I took a lot of screenshots. Ooh, there's one screenshot I didn't send myself. So let me go ahead and send that now. And you know what? I'll put one of these screenshots up on the screen right now so you guys can see. This is all stuff that's right now hitting the news. So we'll get into this here in just a second. And I've got more stuff on this. Um, so Skipper is that green neon of the soldier new looks cool. Are you calling me a gear queer? But there's always that guy in units. There's always that guy in units that he's always got all the new stuff, and yeah, that's you nickname him the gear queer. All right, so this is the story here. Well, here I'll go back to that. Biden era FBI has investigated over 106 Republicans as part of Arctic Frost probe. So we're starting to see more and more of these things come out. And uh, here is Molly Hemingway. I hate when it does this. So here's Molly Hemingway. Uh, I think that's her name. I always get her confused with another. This is so insane and so divorced from reality that it tells us the situation at the FBI was a million times worse than even those who think it's unsalvageable believed. Ed Corrigan is one of the most beloved members of the conservative movement across every faction of the right. So they were the Biden FBI was investigating people on the right. Uh, no basis for crimes. No basis for crimes. And as you'll see, um, like I think I know Cash Patel and Dan Bongino they said they were going to clean up the FBI. I think it's too big. I think the FBI has too many people deep in corruption. I think we need a Tower Commission like thing to go through. Like we need a commission to investigate all parts of the DOJ. We really do. And I hope that we do that. I really do. And because yeah, it's a fester. It's a fester. It's a boil. We need to cut out the infection. Do you believe that Arno Crum was wrong for the experimental treatment performed on? Hold on, my thing's a little bit screwed up. On Faye and the MG Ultra Kid, Stream Dead Architect. Don't know about that. I'm not one of those guys. I know a little bit about MK Ultra. I go a little bit down that rabbit hole, but I don't go down deep. Americans need to know that Congress has done their job and opened the government back up. Um, I think it'll get opened up next week. You're seeing the polls now, and the polls are shifting. And I've long said when I've long said that. Oh, let me take it on this one too. Yeah, I've long said that when the polls start shifting and Democrats, Republicans, whenever we start seeing a winner, that's when they'll end it. And you're starting to see that this week. I had seen some polls where there was little movement, but CNN had a poll that shows that the Republicans are that the people are siding with the Republicans. If there's other polls that show that, this will end very quickly. And this was all a political play. It was all a political play. So, and it's really sad that the military was used in this, but both sides love using the military. They love using the military. They love using veterans as political pawns. FBI needs a church commission level investigation. I am 100% on board with that, TC. 100%. Um, so yeah, and then, with that, there's a couple screenshots I got here. Uh, this is Catherine Herridge. I really like her. I really like Catherine Herridge. She was with CBS for years and then was let go. I believe it was CBS. Newly unsealed records confirm the Comey prosecution for allegedly lying to Congress focuses on a New York Times report about his handling of the Clinton email probe, as well as the role of a Columbian law professor, Daniel Richman. Based on the FBI leak investigation codename Arctic Haze released via Kash Patel, there was also a disclosure of classified information. Context. In addition to being Comey's de facto PR rep, the filing confirms Richmond was also Comey's attorney at one time. This is the same pattern we saw with Comey's attorney Patrick Fitzgerald. We recently reported that an internal watchdog concluded Fitzgerald was involved in the Comey leaks, presenting a potential conflict of interest. And if you guys remember, I talked about this yesterday. I talked about this yesterday. Uh, you don't. I talked about in Georgie and Coop. If you have attorney-client privilege, you don't want to put it in jeopardy. Um, Newscom and his Democrats are trying to sue Trump because of Snap. Yeah, that will be that lawsuit will, like, I saw Keith Ellison is suing. That will be dismissed for lack of standing because uh the like if someone receiving excuse me, if someone receiving SNAP benefit sues, then it will be held up. But an attorney general, no. Uh SNAP is not a civil right, and that's what they're trying to sue for. To continue on with Catherine Herridge's ex post here, we recently reported that internal watchdog concluded Fitzgerald was involved in the Comey leaks, presenting a potential conflict of interest. And she's got links. Neither Fitzgerald nor Richmond have responded to our questions. The Clinton email and Richmond angles are old news to our followers. And yeah, I have been watching this. Um, but yeah, you're seeing them post proof now. And I'll put up. So she has all the documents on her X. She's got links to them. Right here they are. And I really like she does this. She does this a lot. Catherine Herridge, when she posts stuff, she always has her notes. And so you can see exactly what's important to her, things that jump out to her. Um, there were a lot of people saying that when this Comey um, indictment was put up, they were like, "Oh, this is going to be beat. This is going to be beat. Trump's doing this." Well, now we're actually getting into the meat and potatoes of it, and yeah, I think I think he's screwed. To be honest, I think he is screwed. Um, you can't give classified documents to your attorney. You can't. Uh, this is this is the problem with classified material and classified leakers, and I dealt with this with Snowden. Congress needs to set up a thing of Congress for people, whistleblowers, to come forward and be able to turn over classified information that they think shows corruption, so that they have protections. And that was my whole thing with Snowden. I think he should have, rather than you know, go to the media with it or go to websites like WikiLeaks. I think he should have gone to a senator like Rand Paul, and then he would not have had to run. Oh, Georgie is tempting these people. Uh, you know what's funny is I've been getting screenshots of their Discord for a long time, and now they're going to go through and scramble and start. They're going to start with loyalty tests, and it's funny. It's funny. There, this is this is going to be the fun part of it. And yeah, I'm going to get more stuff today, guaranteed, because they can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. Um, but yeah, the fact that that bothers them, it's like, who cares? They're mad. Like Fleece is mad the about Alexis or Lacey, the uh, the blow up doll. Like, what do you care? What do you care? A fan sent it to me. I put my merch on it because I wanted. I was like, okay, well, I'll use this. People send me stuff. I'll use it. Absolutely. And the fact that it bothers them. I did have another. Well, actually, two stories I want to talk about. Bill Gates makes major climate change reversal after years of doomerism. People will be able to live and thrive. Yeah. And, here's the thing. All these people, oh, it's getting warmer. The earth has been warmer during human times. In fact, Roman times it was 2 degrees Celsius warmer. That doesn't that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It doesn't mean we're going to have more devastating storms. What's the most devastating thing that happened during Roman times? I would say the eruption of the volcano of Pompeii. That to me, and that's not affected by the weather. Volcanoes are not weather related. Like it's earth related, but yeah. So Bill Gates is stopping he's stopping all of yeah, they call it doomerism. I'm trying to think what another word for that would be. Just just their craziness. So he's stopping that on that, and he's gonna focus on his whole thing with the pandemic and the vaccines he wants people to use. That's where he's gonna go with for the money now. Because here's the thing, they've been my whole life, it started when I was a kid. It started when I was a kid, and they talked about the ozone layer. And also back then it was global warming. Now it's climate change because it's not warming. Uh, they say there's going to be warming, but it hasn't panned out. Every year, uh, they like they take forest fires. Like they were Bernie Sanders, if you recall, he was trying to say that the Palisades fire was due to climate change. No, it was not, and it was not made worse by climate change either. We now know the Palisades fire was started by a dude in his 30s, a loser, and they weren't keeping the 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 fire department was not enforcing its adequate water measures. It wasn't, and they had no backup plan. They had no backup plan, so that's why the Palisades fire. And they wanted it. They wanted that all to burn. You won't convince me, um, because look, they're not rebuilding. Why are they not rebuilding? Because they want those people to sell that land. They wanted that land cheap, and it was just convenient. Oh, Georgie, poking the bear. I don't care. I don't care. None of those people bother me. And that's what really bothers them is that I don't give a shit. All the people making big deals about it, they don't watch this show. I know what shows they watch. It's not this one. So why would I try to please them? I'm going to do the opposite. In fact, I got screenshots from another group called Anti What the Hales versus What the Hales. And I'll say this. The mod of it, the guy that created it, John Grims, good dude. Very good dude. He's not a Jeremy Hale supporter, but he's a good dude. And he's very fair. Um, and I They had a meme. Bill Wheeler put up a meme. I should look for that meme and put it up. I did put it up in the ecosystem. Let me go grab it. And it was from yesterday's show. And it was just funny. It was funny. And why would I not find it funny? If it's funny, it's funny. Georgie is just trying to cause problems today. I don't care. Go ahead. Burn it down. That's what I say. See, here's the other thing. I used to get frustrated in the old fake What the Hell's group because that was clearly like it was a What the Hell's group, and people would post things that were not related. See, that's the good thing about the ecosystem. You can post things in there that's not related. It's about our shows and the things we discuss. So you can discuss anything. Here, I'm gonna share this. So this is the meme. It's bigger that way. Oh, here we go. Oh no. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, he did a screenshot and said no editing was needed. This meme just made itself. You know, perfectly fine. Doesn't bother me one bit. I find it funny. I find it funny. So I got that screenshot, and then I got another screenshot of a guy in there talking about how he doesn't like me. And it's a guy who I actually promoted a little bit, and um, because he backstabbed me, like I had an issue with him, and I went to him. Okay, I went. You're getting bored. I'm about to give my 2 week notice. Hey, I had stuff planned that I knew you'd enjoy, and I went through it. But yeah, I went to this guy, DM'd him directly, active aggressive. Say, hey, I said, hey, I've got a problem with these things that you've said. And I dealt with him one on one, man to man. I'll stab you in the front. That way you can defend yourself. I'm not going to stab you in the back. What did he do? He went into that same group, What the Hell's the anti What the Hell's, and claimed that he didn't. Oh my God, I'm getting more screenshots as it goes. I'll get into the screenshot. I love when you guys send me stuff. Like of course people are gonna send me screenshots, you idiots. But this guy says he doesn't watch my show because he's got a problem with me. But yet was talking about what I was talking about on my show yesterday, where I was wait, is that in our group? Is that in our group? Let me know where that was posted. Or was it in another group? But this guy was watching and he had a problem with what I said yesterday about the homeless. Because I said the homeless, like 90% of the homeless are either drug addicts, and I loop alcohol into that as well. They're either addicts or mentally ill. Okay. This is not, okay. Yeah. This is not anything crazy. It's nothing crazy to say that. But this guy had a problem with that. He had a major problem with that. I'm not going to put this up on the screen only because I don't want people to harass this person. Um, they can write all this about me, and like I might put it in the group later, because yeah, this individual is banned from the group because we made a rule. Hey, no going into other groups talk about things in this group, and oh, that's exactly what a lot of these people were doing. And here's the other thing. I confronted probably about 4 people yesterday who were involved, like they were in the threads of people bashing our old group. And I have the screenshots. People sent them to me. I knew what was happening as it was happening. But I told those people, I was like, look, I will let you in the new group because I know you were in that thread, but you didn't engage in the bashing of the group or of any of the admins and mods. So you can stay in the new group, but we know, like, I know you were there. So, tread carefully. Tread carefully is what I'm saying. We have this rule now, and it will be enforced, and there won't be any second chances. None. So here's what was posted. Crybaby Mike Arthur. So clearly she's watching right now. So you're talking about me posting that you think you know everything about the law and court. You do act like you know everything. Just because you've been in court a lot doesn't mean you know everything about it, but you certainly act like it. You act like you know everything about everything. You're wrong a lot, and you do not always correct yourself. What am I wrong about? Just tell me what I'm wrong about. I have very thick skin. I've told people, don't stab me in the back. You can DM me if you have a problem. You can, like, literally got a phone number. You can call me. You can text me. Like, what I don't want you to do is don't be going and working against me in places where you don't think I'll see, because that is the ultimate bitch move. You were wrong about John Elway. And John Elway? When have I talked about John Elway? And when I tried to tell you you were wrong, you told me I was wrong. Okay? Two people can disagree. Okay? You speculate all of the time. I do. I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to speculate, and I'll tell you, I think this is going to happen. Literally, I have a video going out tomorrow on my college football betting picks. That is all speculation. Like, yeah. Now, other people are freaking out about various things in these court cases. And I've told people, don't get wrapped around the axle. Like, if you start getting emotionally invested in this stuff, and trust me, the circle that she runs in, they get very emotionally invested, very emotionally invested. And that's why they had a problem with me in the old group. But yeah, uh, and I can speculate. Most people are speculating about this. You have people talking out of their ass on some of this stuff. I'm trying to keep it, hey, this is what I see will happen. I could be wrong. I always say I could be wrong. And I can. And if you think I'm wrong, I would actually want you to tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me to my face that I'm wrong. I'll have that discussion. I am here's the thing. With all the people that were coming up after me, they were the ones losing their shit. They were the ones um, walking the line and then breaking the rules. I stayed completely calm. I stayed very calm. I didn't become polite. I was very direct, and I was like, "No, this is what the thing is. It's this." And see, people view that as rude, uncouth, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not here for your feelings. So apparently I was wrong about John Elway. Okay. Uh, just because you say something doesn't make it correct. I don't have to like you, but I do like Georgie and Coop. You have a problem with people that don't like you. Nobody has to like you. Get over it and GTFU. Is that get the fuck up? Okay. Ban me from your stupid group because I don't like you. No, you were banned from the group for violation of Rule 3. That is why, like, and when I told the mods, hey, I showed what you had said, and I was like, I'm banning her from the group, and someone said, "Is it because she said she don't like you?" And I said, "No, I people who don't like me, um, as long as they can follow the rules, I appreciate them." Like John Grims. I don't think John Grims likes me, but here's the thing: he doesn't have to like me. We have respect for each other. We respect each other. Bill Wheeler does not like me, but what he did was hilarious. That meme that I showed of him, that was hilarious, and I can say that. Just because I don't like somebody, that's fine. Just because someone doesn't like me, that's fine. What you don't see me doing is passive aggressive posts like this. Like I'll say this actively where you can see it. Like that's what these people, they're all very passive aggressive. Um, like I wouldn't be surprised if she has a mental issue as well, just like her friend Linda. Would not be surprised. Same thing with Pam, aka Juanita. All mental issues over there. And I'm it's you do realize what I'm doing right now. I'm doing this for a reason because it's going to get your little Discord talking. First off, you're all watching me. Like literally in the middle of the night, I saw a bump in the middle of the night of people who watched my show once I woke up this morning. And I know where that's coming from. It's like, oh, okay. Well, who's awake at 2 and 3 in the morning? Like a group of people. It wasn't just like one person. Like it's a bump of views that I got in the middle of the night last night. Joey Elway was the quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Yes, he was. Dude is obsessed with you, dude. Sounds like suppress infatuation. Oh yeah, they are. They are. And I just find it funny. Like like Bill posting that, I said, "Hey, that's really funny. Thank you for doing it." Um Yeah, I said, "Thank you for doing it, and, you clearly are watching and give me views, and you're also, promoting me now. Thank you." I'm getting more DMs, and that's the thing, like, here's the other thing, like, yeah, when you guys do this, all you do is get people to send me more stuff. Like, of course. If you're gonna stalk, at least double tap the screen, right? Remember what Jeremy said this week? The views are the most important, and they are absolutely giving me the views. Oh, I got mods. And here's the thing, here and I posted this in the group. A lot of the people who are not gonna be allowed into the new group, for violation of Rule 3 are big time mad about the rules in the group. It's like, these rules don't affect you. They'll never affect you. You're not a part of the group. So I don't know why you have such a strong opinion. The fake drama with all the stupid what the hell's crap. Hey, I'm milking it. I am milking it for views. That all ends up as change in Skipper's pocket. And here's the other thing, like they all watch The Fleas, and, it's really annoying. It was really annoying in the old group because they would respond to The Fleas with Facebook posts. And each rather than do like, "Hey, we're gonna do a Fleas watch thread," where everybody goes in there and makes their 2 no, they all had to start their own thing because they wanted everyone to see what they were saying. And here's the thing, no one cared. You looked at those posts and it was like, maybe they would get a like, it was like, you guys have a very high sense of your own opinion. And initially, when the fleas were reacting to it, I was like, okay, yeah, fine. But then it just got old, and I was like, all you're doing is spamming the board. It's all you're doing. Um, I still let it happen because it didn't break any of the rules. I was like, hey, we are sticking to the rules. Um, there were people who were, hey, can you ban them or at least get them to stop? I was like, it's not against the rules, but in the old group and even in the new group, the rules were always, we can have discussions about the rules. The members have input on the rules because they're the ones that have to follow them. I'm not going to call him Daddy Georgie. You're on your own there. Well, Coop calls me Daddy. He plays his little thing. Daddy's home. I never asked either of them to do that. So, to the woman who wrote all that, I have to
Who are
say,
you calling a cootie queen, you lint liquor?
thank you for the views. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. The two leads is a waste of time. They're showing, and here's the thing: those people doing it, they're all watching individually, so they're giving her tons of views. They're giving her views and promotion. Like I at least will do a watch party. You know. Thank you, Winnie. Good to see you here. Winnie is a big supporter. I thank you so much. Um, I got a little fan group out there in the Philippines watching, and I need to get to the Philippines. Uh, I worked with a command master chief who was he was a Filipino, and he's offered to me. He's got a condo in Cebu City, and is like, "Hey, anytime you want to go," he's like, "You can go there. I've got family there. You can stay." I want to do it. If you've ever looked at some of the stuff on the Philippines, it's the flight is expensive, but once you're there, it's incredibly cheap. Like a six pack of beer is like $4. And I've got a couple people that I interact with routinely at work who go to the Philippines. And, they're Marines. They've got Filipino wives, and they go to the Philippines quite often. And they're like, dude, you can go and take a boat and go on a beach where no one's going to be on that beach. Um, my one buddy, he works in the office right next to me. He sadly he's furloughed, so I haven't seen him in a month. But he we were talking. And he goes, "Oh yeah," he's like, "We stay at a 5-star resort. He goes, it's what I would pay for a holiday in here." He goes, "It's super nice." He's like, and he's like, it's so funny because he's like, my brother-in-laws, they treat me like I'm the rich family member. He's like, it's there's nothing, special that we do. He goes, but the one thing, because at our exchange, they always overbuy tennis shoes. Always. That's why I was able to get Robert Tower. I don't know if he's here this morning, but when Robert was asking for help, I was able to get him some brand new Nikes because they always overbuy at our exchange, and then they have to put them on discount. So I always pick them up on clearance, and like I think the ones I bought for him, I paid like $10.50. It cost me more to ship them to him than it did to buy them. And I do that for my family members. I'll buy them shoes and stuff, pack them in my like for Christmas. I'm gonna ask my brother, hey, what are the kids' shoe size? I'll get them shoes. Get there, like I take them out of the box and everything, and then when I get there, I'll just they've got extra shoes. And he was like, yeah, I do that with my family members too. He's like, we literally take an extra suitcase and we fill it up with shoes because our exchange constantly overbuys. The two things they overbuy are they overbuy shoes and they overbuy perfume. A Marine with a Filipino wife? What? Never. It's that's more the Navy than anything. But yeah, the Marines, the Marines who get into Southeast Asia. Yeah, they but, out of all the countries out there, the Philippines, um, they have the best outlook on the US. I'm looking for my back scratcher. Back scratcher? Did I take it away? My desk is messy because I've been cleaning other stuff. I can't find it. This is gonna suck. But yeah, and here there's like we have so there's in my town there's a big group of Polynesians, mainly from Guam. Like there's two big families. Like they have a lot of kids. They're all my age now. So there's a lot of them here. In fact, what is his name? The guy that played Aquaman, and he was called Drogo in Game of Thrones, but he grew up in Joshua Tree, so one town over. I've never seen him, but friends I know they've seen him, and now he owns a ranch in Pioneer Town, which is just beyond the next town over, which is Yucca Valley. But he grew up out here, still lives out here, but he's from one of the big Polynesian families. Uh, with a lot of the Marines, there's a lot of Filipinos. I see them at church all the time. And then we also have several Vietnamese families here, and the Vietnamese families they love businesses. My local donut shop, yeah, that's a Vietnamese family. They bought the ice cream store and closed it down because they're going to put in a boba tea place. The only part of the What the Hell saga that I have a genuine interest in is are they filed against the prosecutor? Oh, that's my big one too. How do they get around prosecutor discretion and immunity? Um, well, what Jeremy said yesterday is they've Dan Owens, the ADA, has requested a meeting. Oh, okay. Um, okay. So we just got a problem in the group. Somebody said something that got removed, so now he's going to be gone. And he did this in the old group, so that's why, yeah, we're done with second chances. Oh, I'm not seeing him. Was it in this group? People are still reporting things from the old group. Okay, so it was not in the new group. That was something from the old group. Okay, I was worried. But yeah, there's the fleas especially. They told people to keep reporting. Jason Momoa. He was born in Hawaii, raised in Norwalk, Iowa. No, his mom lives in Joshua Tree, and I actually have a picture because he graduated from Yucca Valley High School, I believe. Like I want to say like 2008. But he now owns a thing out because I've got a picture of him on my phone that my friend took. She ran into him at the Sisters Cafe in Joshua Tree. He had a big like cowboy hat, like fedora, like it was a fedora, but it was a big one and a trench coat, so that in the summer, so that people wouldn't recognize him. uh, what's the name of the new group? Ecosystem 1.0. And it's 1.0 because I actually started it before the ecosystem. What I don't know. People are yelling at native. I don't know why. No clue. Uh, sorry, I'm checking out some stuff. Is the interesting? Sorry, I'm just checking out a couple things here. These are not things that people sent me. They're things that I am seeing were posted. YouTube is asking me. Okay. YouTube asked me something. Okay. Oh, John. Good to see you, John. John Naylor. He's in the group. Post some of your gaming streams in there, John. I it, they took you out of my algorithm, and I was reminded, and I had to go look up some of your stuff so I could start watching again. Um, Skipper has, please. Yeah, he's gonna. I'm shocked that they didn't use him as Lobo the first time. For those of you who don't know, Lobo is a villain in DC, and he looks just like Jason Momoa, just like him. And he is actually a, a very fun villain. Because he just doesn't care. He does not care. I've said this: Marvel has better heroes, with the exception of Batman. Batman is the lone DC exception that's a better hero than most Marvel. But Marvel has better heroes. DC has better villains, without a doubt. I, in fact, I don't get it. They did the Joker movie. DC should be doing more movies with the villain as the main, like the main character. Oh, you're at the hospital? I'm sorry. I hope everything is okay. Yeah, he's a bounty hunter. Let us know if you guys need some prayers and or need anything else. Let us know. Um, yeah, I've worked with a lot of Polynesians. One of my chiefs, he was Samoan. He born and raised in Guam. Uh, Very interesting to talk with him. I worked with the Tongans in Afghanistan. Um, they were an interesting group. Um, the only true Joker was Jack Nicholson from the no. There's different variations. Like he was a good job of playing, especially the golden and silver era of the Joker. But like I grew up in the in the 80s. That's when Frank Miller did Death in the Family and Return of the Return of the Dark Knight, and I had both of those books growing up. And that was more like the Heath Ledger Joker, not exactly, but more like it. Um, I did not like the Jared Leto. Like that was a version of the Joker I haven't seen. I'll tell you probably the best version of the Joker is from the Arkham Knight gaming series, and I play. I'm actually replaying Arkham Asylum. Like that was just such a great game. Arkham City was okay. It was good for expanding the universe, and it was fun because they added more villains and side quests, which I thought was amazing. Um, and then Arkham Knight, I really liked as well. It was a good bookend to tie it all up. You're wrong about Jason. Now I can prove your haters wrong. Okay. Again, I can be wrong, but I can tell you he lives in Joshua Tree. His mom lives in Joshua Tree. Uh, like our boards here light up when he's doing something. Same thing with it's just like how Kanye he moved out here. I see Kanye. I haven't. I saw his little because he's got several super trucks, cyber trucks. He's got several cyber trucks. I saw them about a month ago before it really cooled down out here. But I know I'm gonna like he's gonna be out here quite a bit, and I'll see his stuff. Cheech Marin, he also lives out here. During the week, people see him at Walmart. I'm trying to think. What's his name? Sam Elliott. He also bought a place in Pioneer Town, a ranch out there. Um, what's his name from Led Zeppelin? Robert Plant. He's lived out. He's had a place out here for years before he died. Dick Dale. Dick Dale lived out here for a number of years. The Jack Nicholson, yeah, the golden era and silver era of the Joker, very, very much like those 1940s to probably the 1970s. He was absolutely that version of the Joker. Um, but yeah, and I actually don't like how every Batman movie they're like, oh, we got to do a Frank Miller, the dark version of it. Like Frank Miller, those books were good. They were very good. I really enjoyed them. But there's other people who've written for Batman and did a great job. My favorite Batman graphic novel is The Long Halloween. I love that one. Um, Batman Year One and Year Two are pretty good as well. The only thing I don't like about the Joker nowadays is they always think they need to have a origin story for the Joker. I don't. In fact, they do that with every like they feel like they have to do an origin story for everybody. You don't need an origin story, especially with someone like the Joker. He's just crazy. Okay, let's just go with that. We don't need to know why he's crazy. Georgie's trying to derail me. Our superstar from the Netherlands played a role in the Marvel movie Black Widow. Are you talking about what's her name? Oh, what is? I'm trying to think her name. I didn't like that they killed Taskmaster in I because I finally watched the Thunderbolts. Like that was a very like just like a very quick and dumb death. I would have killed Ghost because Ghost is a character from the comics that like I don't give a shit. Taskmaster, like I don't like the female Taskmaster. I'll say that. Like that was stupid. Uh, but I would have done a male task. Like I understand why they did it because it did fit with the story they were trying to tell about the Red Room. But I would have made the Taskmaster, or at least done the male version and made it like a clone of Bucky. Scarlett Johansson is a smoke show. Oliver Richter's. I'm trying to think who he was in Black Widow. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. There's been a lot of great characters that Marvel has really kind of wasted in the movies. The Mandarin, but they did kind of retcon it and make it better. But now they put what's his name in that new show that's coming out, and I could care less. Marvel has ruined their universe. They have absolutely ruined it. Absolutely, Hellhound. Yeah, the Joker as the Red Hood was great, and that's one thing I did like about the Arkham series. They did a version of that, and I thought that was great. And then Jason Todd becomes the Red Hood, which I thought was great. Now TC is going to get really annoyed that we're talking comic books and video games. What question? What question, Georgie? Georgie's just trying to derail me, and if I dress up like Harley Quinn when I come to see you, will you pull my pigtails and tell me to be a good girl? You know, people talk about Harley Quinn. They're like, "Oh, I love Harley Quinn." No, no, you like Margot Robbie, not Harley Quinn, because that like she did a good interpretation of Harley Quinn, but like first off, the fact that they gave her her own movie, I thought was stupid. And Hollywood does this, and they did it with what's her name, Jennifer Lawrence playing Mystique. Mystique is not like if you want to do a Mystique movie, just say it's Mystique. Don't call it X-Men. Don't make her a good guy. Such a better character doing it as a bad guy. I really think they should have done a Brotherhood of Mutants. Um, yeah, Disney ruined Marvel. Well, Endgame was good. Like Endgame and Infinity War, those were good. But yeah, then after that they ruined it because they wanted to interject politics. Like you can put a little bit of politics in, but when it's uh, like just all up in your face, and like they're still doing it, and it's like you guys haven't learned. But yeah, like Margot Robbie should never like there shouldn't have never been a Harley Quinn movie. I would like a Brotherhood of Mutants movie. Like you, if you want to make Jennifer Lawrence the star, that's what you do. That's what you do. You don't make her the leader of the X-Men. That is so stupid. E especially when like, if you were gonna do that, then you should have just made her Emma Frost, but they didn't wanna make her Emma Frost. Disney ruins everything. You realize Disney still hasn't made money off of Star Wars? They have not made money off Star Wars. Do you wanna know how they could make like, if Disney wanted to very little investment, very little, make a ton of money off Star Wars. Here's what you do. You re-release it'll be what, 50 years? 40 years? 50 years, I'm pretty sure. Uh, in 2027, you re-release the original theatrical release of Star Wars. That's what you do. Without any of the edits that they redid for 1980. You re-release it as it was. And trust me, people will come out because there's a lot of people who have never seen the original theatrical release, especially in any type of high definition. If Disney want to make a ton of money, they should make a Darth Vader series. Uh, Disney does not understand their properties. They bought Star Wars and Marvel because Disney was doing very well with the princesses, and they had little girls, but they were starting to lose little boys. So they bought these, and then what did they do? Oh, we have to create all these female characters. Like, and no one likes them. No one likes Ray. And people, no, I love Ray. Look at the toy sales. Ray toys do not sell. Uh, Star Wars, the way to make money on Star Wars is toys. Absolutely toys, without a question. And no one cares about the sequels. Like no one cares about the First Order. They don't care about that at all. Uh, y- give us more toys of the original. Keep doing movie. Like I thought the Andor series was great. I thought Rogue One was great. I loved it. I actually thought the Han Solo series, the Han Solo movie wasn't bad, but that's when they were trying to inject oh, we have to make these characters female. Like it's a boys series. Like it's for little boys. Leave it for them. Like many of these people, this is why I don't care about these people who don't like my show and who don't like me. I don't give a fuck. You want to know why? There are people out there who do like me. So I am going to focus all my content to them. When you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. Star Wars was ruined when they released episodes 1 through 3. Um, I partially agree with you. Partially agree with you, TC. Um, episodes 1 through 3. The problem with episodes 1 through 3, though, that was George Lucas, and there was no one there telling him, no, don't do this. Everybody, he was like, I want to do this. I want to do Jar Jar Binks as a character. And people weren't there to be like, no, George, that's stupid. No one wants you. No one wants that. No one wants that. But he second guessed himself. That's why he redid the special editions. Like all George Lucas does is second guess himself. And here's the thing, like the two things about George Lucas. First off, his initial instinct, and I know this about myself too. My initial instinct is usually the correct one. The second thing about George Lucas, his dialogue sucks. There's a reason why the best Star Wars movie is um uh 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 The Empire Strikes Back. There's a reason why that one is, because he didn't direct it and the dialogue was constantly changing. And it was his ex-wife who was the one there telling him no. And I'm not like, that's probably why he divorced her. Jar Jar eats crowns. Yeah. I'll tell you this, I didn't hate J.J. Abrams' The Force Awakens. I did not hate it at all. The Last Jedi, that is the biggest piece of shit movie I have seen in probably the last 20 years. Darth Jar Jar. Like, as bad as George Lucas is, Rian Johnson, that movie was a complete and utter steaming pile of shit. I think that episode 3 where Anakin becomes Darth Vader was the best. That one wasn't bad. The problem with the prequel trilogy is it was a trilogy. He felt he needed to do it as a trilogy. So like he first off, like one of the best villains he ever created was General Grievous. General Grievous was in one movie. He shouldn't have killed him in Attack of the Clones. Should have had him survive and been the big bad for Return of the Sith. That's what he should have done. General Grievous should have been, for the first half of that, should have been the heavy. I didn't have a problem with him killing Count Dooku. I really didn't like Count Dooku as a character. I thought it was dumb. But yeah, General Grievous was a great character. Should have been the bad guy, because and that's what George Lucas, like he killed Darth Maul. Darth Maul was a great character. And then he had to bring Darth Maul back in the Clone Wars because he was such a good character. Like, and Marvel does that too. They kill all their good bad guys. You need a bad guy for the heroes to be able to come up against. The dumbest thing they did in the sequels was somehow Palpatine has returned. That is stupid. It is stupid. Like the bad guy in the original Star Wars trilogy is Darth Vader the whole time, and he's got a character arc, and he was great. Palpatine really was not he was not really the greatest bad guy. It was good that he was there, you pulling the strings, like, and it helped with the character arc of Darth Vader. But I don't care about Palpatine. Like, it's boring. Just like how in Attack of the Clones and the Phantom Menace, like I don't care about the Senate scenes. Like if I want to watch C-SPAN, I will watch C-SPAN. I don't want to watch Star Wars C-SPAN. I don't. Oh yeah, I'll be there to help you guys read docs today. I will. Yes, General Grievous was part droid. He pretty much it was his head and chest that was still alive. But he was killing Jedis and he kept lightsabers from those Jedis as trophies that he then would use. That's a damn good bad guy. Uh, Same thing with the last Starfighter. I'm sorry, the last Jedi. They killed Snoke. You were building him up to be this big bad guy, and then you killed him. So okay, so then you have to. Well, what are we going to do as a bad guy? Let's bring Palpatine. Like that makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. I would have done something where you bring back Darth Vader. Eh, yeah, he brought balance to the Force, and then say, okay, well, his essence when he died split into two, and the Sith side, um, I would not have done a clone. I would have done do uh, like a poltergeist thing where now he has um, like someone went to find Darth Vader's mask, and now he is what's the thing? Where a demon gets inside you. I'm trying to think of the term. That's what I would have done. A Knights of Ren series. They're gonna screw it up. Like Star Wars is dead. They're gonna screw it up. They don't even know. Like Disney doesn't even realize that toys are how you make money with Star Wars. I would have gone like where are Ewoks? I know people hated Ewoks, but where you haven't seen them again since Return of the Jedi. That they sell toys. Ewoks sell toys. Look at Grogu. And that Mandalorian movie that they're doing, that thing is going to be a complete and total piece of shit. I can already tell. I will not watch that at the theater. Oh no, I started early. I already went through all my STD. I already went through all my the stories I wanted to talk about. So now we're just talking about comic books and movies, just whatever. Yeah, possessed. Imagine like okay, Anakin died. His spirit is now a Force ghost, but the dark side of him being Darth Vader, uh, if that essence survived on its own right, and now they're split. That's how I would have done it. Because Darth Vader is a damn good bad guy. Damn good bad guy. Lego Star Wars stuff still need to get the Millennium Falcon. We have the Millennium Falcon. We've got Slave One. What else do we have? We have AT-AT Walker. We've got the Hoth battle set. Yeah, we've got a lot of that stuff. The Lego one I want to get is the Death Star. I do want to get that one. Sorry, guys. Getting a little bit warm in here. Or maybe it's my coffee making me warm. Lego has made more money on Star Wars than did, and they understand it. They understand it. Lego has given up on the sequels. The prequels, they still make money on the toys from the prequels, but that's because George Lucas understood that the way to make money with Star Wars is the toys. You realize George Lucas did not make that much money off the movies. He negotiated away his movie rights for and said, I just want to keep the merchandising rights. And that's why in the movie Spaceballs, uh, that was made with George Lucas's blessing. And the only thing he said is just don't merchandise it. That's where I make my money. And Mel Brooks was like, okay. And so that's why you don't see like any Star Wars merchandise that you see actually is in conjunction with George Lucas. Because George Lucas knows it's the toys. It's the toys that sell. Star Wars possession. Yeah, wouldn't that not be cool? I think it would. I was never a big Star Trek guy. A good friend of mine, his wife is a big Trekkie. I'm not opposed to it though, but I do like the original Gene Roddenberry, um, his original vision, which they've gotten so far from it. Yeah, it is pretty cool that I they're doing Spaceballs too. Some things about it I really like, some things about it I don't. Oh, they've killed Indiana Jones. They've killed Indiana Jones. Again, not understanding the characters. If you want to lose money, have give give your franchise to Kathleen Kennedy. She has killed what, 3 franchises? Like billion-dollar franchises. She has killed them. How that woman still has a job, I don't know. There would be no Star Wars without Star Trek. Uh, that's partially true. The biggest thing, that actually created Star Wars, though, was, uh, Flash Gordon. Because George Lucas wanted to do a Flash Gordon, and he wanted a space serial, and he wanted to reboot for Flash Gordon, but the rights had already been negotiated away. So that's why he wrote Star Wars. Yeah, I did see that Hellhound. They screw up every Stephen King movie. Honestly, I'm like a lot of Stephen King stuff I'm just not a fan of. Um, I'm worried that Spaceballs would be a bad flop. I mean, anytime you revisit something like that, yeah, you have that high potential. Um, I don't think Rick Moranis would be coming back if the script wasn't good. So that's why I'm not opposed to it. Like he didn't come back for Ghostbusters. Gene Roddenberry was an avowed socialist and used Trek to promote his ideology. That's true, but um, his when you actually get into his vision on Star Trek and how it was about the worlds, um, that's what I say I like. Like we can debate about the actual ideology when you get them. Um, and here's the other thing. I don't mind socialists like doing that stuff too much because the thing is, in actual practice, socialism fails every time because it's a group of few making decisions for the many. And what happens to the group of few? It dwindles and gets smaller and smaller until it eventually becomes a dictatorship. And it can be a dictatorship with just 3 people. Like 3 people can be a dictatorship. Um, and that's what happens. That is 100% happens. Cujo sucked as a movie, but book made dang near made you cry. It's hard to take a movie and turn it into or a book and turn it into a movie. It really is. Um, I know they've be and a lot of that is just because the people involved rarely understand the source. Like I loved the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian because you could tell that and the same thing with Rogue One. You could tell that the people who made it loved the source material. Loved it. Now you like literally Ryan Johnson said I before he did The Last Jedi, he had never watched a Star Wars movie. So that's why he got so much of it wrong. But then it was also just a bad movie. And I always give people as an example. If you took if you watched The Last Jedi and you take everything of Finn and Rose out, the movie doesn't change. Everything about them in there is just filler. It's a waste of time. Yeah, I'm familiar with that about American Graffiti. And again, that's why it's a good movie. Write what you know. Yeah, and that's that's where it becomes hard to do, Nanny Clampett. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed the Odd Thomas books. The movie sucked. And the thing is, the movie was very faithful to the books. Very faithful. Three awesome dogs. Good to see you. Frost of the Pumpkin, Michigan. But yeah, um, please explain that you are discussing and endorsing Akash Patel leak condemning a Comey leak. I don't know if you would say it's a leak when they released it, Lynn. They released those documents. uh, King is almost impossible to translate to screen because of how psychological and literary King's writing is. Most people, even his fans, don't understand how deep he is. Yeah, I mean that's a fair assessment. I would absolutely agree. Uh, and that happens with many things. The movie that to this day I find good and scary, both in book and movie, is the movie It. Um, I like the original with John Ritter. I like the original. Way scarier. The the problem with horror movies, too many movies, they first off they want to do gore a lot of times nowadays, thinking that's what makes it. It's not. There's also people who are like, oh, practical effects are what makes it. Practical effects do a pretty good job. You know, a lot of the effects they try to do are not like they just don't look good. But some CGI can do really well. Hey, Coop, good to see you. Um, but I'll tell you, with horror movies, the best horror movies, and a good one I'll use is the Saw movies. Uh, the best horror movies are the ones that leave things up to your mind. Nothing will ever be scarier than your own mind. Um, and that's why the more things are left up to your interpretation, the scarier it's going to be. You know what's a horror movie I really like? It was the 1970s British version of the Tales from the Crypt that they did. That was great with Joan Collins, where it was just these little vignettes. OG and It and The Shining were much better. Um, yeah, yeah. Oh, well, The Shining is just a great movie. You, sir, have always been the caretaker. I had to correct them, sir. Did you guys see if this just happened? I saw a thing about it like last week or the week before, where the picture of Jack Nicholson at they found the original photo that they had doctored, and people were like, it was a debate if that was a real photo that they inserted Jack Nicholson into, or was it one that they set up. Well, it turns out it was actually an event in England in the 1920s at a famous hall. And yeah, they did superimpose Jack Nicholson's head onto a gentleman. And someone had finally found it in an archive somewhere. Because Stanley Kubrick, when he was alive, he never gave he the magician never gives up his tricks. And that's why Stanley Kubrick was so good. Uh Years of Drought created the fire. Lynn is okay, Lynn is way back. No, Years of Drought did not create the fires. No, Lynn is wrong. They're doing a reboot. See, I worry that, you know, doing a reboot of Tales from the Crypt, I worry about it that like, I used to really enjoy those comic books. It was Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and there was one other that I really enjoyed. And everyone talks about the Crypt Keeper. The Crypt Keeper in the Tales from the Crypt was not the only narrator. There was the Crypt Keeper, the Old Witch, and I think the Mummy. And the Mummy did show up in the Tales from the Crypt movies that they did, but the TV show left him out. Uh, Same thing with the original Tales from the Crypt 1970 movie. But I understand why they did. They didn't want to. Um, yeah, like the actor that they got. They just thought that was better, and that was actually a more faithful version of the Crypt Keeper um, than the HBO series. Because in the book, the Crypt Keeper is just a hooded guy. The Shining was absolute vomit. Okay. Bring back the original voice actor for the Crypt Keeper. Well, he's not really the original, but I know what you mean. But that actually is not a faithful version to the comic books. I really do like the Creepshow movies. Those were great. Those were of an adaptation. It was an homage to all those horror comic books, which those things were great. I loved them. Uh, just really good stories. Um, Not long stories, but just good ones. And I think that's why when people have tried to redo things like that, um, Twilight Zone, stuff like that, I don't think they really understand. They might love the source material, but I don't think they understand it. Like what makes it tick. Uh, the Twilight Zone was started off of true stories. Like there was a guy he was on the Titanic, he was on the Lusitania, and then there were other two ship sinkings that he was on. And I remember the last one was I think it was actually in the Great Lakes, and, his story was told in the paper, and people were like he when the last ship was going down, he was like, "Damn it, not again." He had he had survived, like, 4 or 5 famous ship sinkings, which, when you look at the chances of that, and that's where Rod Sterling got the idea for The Twilight Zone. It was based in reality. The one thing I don't like anymore is the old Sci-Fi Network used to be like all like sci-fi movies and shows from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And now it's just they're making their own stuff. I like watching those like the old 1950s um movies. I love that. I love watching those old sci-fi and horror movies where they were all cheesy. They were great. And those you used to only see those on, like, Sunday afternoon. The one horror movie that was crap to me was the movie Critters. And see, now that one had, practical effects. Just because it's got practical effects doesn't mean it's gonna be a good movie. Same thing, adding a bunch of gore does not make it a good movie. Um, I think the, um, Insidious movies do a really good job of leaving it up to your mind, and at least the ones I've watched. I gotta be careful watching horror movies nowadays because of my PTSD. Um, because I get nightmares for my PTSD. They're in check now. Occasionally I'll get them, but for a while there, I was getting like nightmares every night, and it's because of PTSD. And yeah, so if I watch a horror movie now, I ain't sleeping that night. Like I'll be dragging the next day because I ain't gonna sleep. I'll every time I lay my head down, it'll be a different nightmare that'll just wake me up. The old school sci-fi TV shows. Yeah. Black Mirror, very good. Not every single one is a home run, but you can't expect it. The Twilight Zone, not every single one was a home run. but there were some really good classic ones. The movie of The Blob, um, that actually was Jack Nicholson's first movie, if I'm not mistaken. Um, the original, very good. Again, practical effects, but they couldn't because there were limitations. It was better because they couldn't do what they did in the remakes. The Haunting from the early '60s, that one was good. I did like the remake of that. I really did. But the original I thought was the best. Yeah. Uh, I'll tell you the one movie that it was kinda C movie, but they were talking about turning it into a TV show, which I think would be amazing, was, 13 Ghosts. I would turn that into a series, 14 episodes. The first 13 are about collecting the 13 ghosts, and then the 14th episode is your finale where you wrap everything up. Um, a lot of potential for that, but doing it in a movie, you're trying to pack a lot in. If you got the DVD, there was a lot of extras that gave backstory on the 13 ghosts that you didn't get elsewhere. And think about that. If you did it as a series, a 14 episode series, there's a big buildup there. A big buildup. Sorry, I'm hearing something. Yeah, there's a big influx of horror movies right now. A lot of people, but it's because they're profitable. If you do independent horror films, you can make a lot of money off them. Very true, Danny Clampett. It's really hard to turn a book into a movie. TV shows, it's a little bit easier. And that's why TV shows like movies now, it's hard to make money with movies nowadays. You can make money with a TV show way better, but that's because of streaming and because you can do stuff like, and also, now's where I'm going to get hate. I do not like Breaking Bad. I do not like it. Um, and here's why. I love The Sopranos. Breaking Bad is trying to be The Sopranos, but they did it on AMC, so they couldn't show the nudity. They couldn't like they could do a little bit of the cussing and stuff like that. Um, but it was trying to be The Sopranos. Just did a bad job of it. And I know people love it. I don't. And you're just not giving it. I watched 3 seasons of it and I tapped out. I enjoy Better Call Saul way more. Like that is much more enjoyable than Breaking Bad was to me. Because you're not trying to like do what Breaking Bad was trying to do. Um, so yeah, that's why I enjoy it so much more. Um, but The Sopranos, I can turn on The Sopranos any episode today and enjoy it. And what people don't realize, The Sopranos was actually a comedy. I watch it now and I am dying laughing as I like now that I know what's happening, I catch things and I'm like, I didn't realize there was a build up to that or that like that was like the whole episode was a setup with a punchline at the end. You know, and now rewatching it, I have a much like I love The Sopranos more on replay than I did and I loved it watching it. Yeah, I wouldn't like a reboot of the movie 13 Ghosts. A TV series, I think would do great. Roku sucks, buffed old man. I use a Fire Stick. Roku sucks. They limit what you can do. Um, Sopranos had the dumbest ending. I'd like the ending, especially especially now. Like, okay, AJ's girlfriend. you realize Tony was killed at the end. I think everyone knows that. But um, the only reason they caught him was because AJ's girlfriend she was dating AJ uh, and spying on behalf of the mafia, so that um, so that they could take out a hit. Do you realize that? A lot of people don't. X-Files also had a disappointing ending. I didn't watch the X-Files. I just didn't get into it. Um, Lost, the ending, I that ending pissed me off. They only because like there was such a buildup, and that was first off that was a letdown. And the other thing is, people had asked the creators, "Are you going to end it with a um, purgatory like ending?" And they said, "Oh no, 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 we're not doing that." And that's what they did. Like, and the thing is, like, we could see that coming. Yeah, I don't mind when they change. I never watched Hellhound. I don't mind when they change things from the source material. Not at all. Uh, you have both Roku and Fire Stick. So a Fire Stick, if you jailbreak it, um, you can put like, I'll tell you right now, I use IPTV. I jailbroke. I've got several Fire Sticks. I jailbreak them. I put on my IPTV. I am paying way less for way more content. I pay $200 a year when I was literally paying $89 a month when I had cable. When I had cable and streaming, like $89 is what I was paying for cable. And then I had Netflix. I was using my brother's Hulu, and I there was another thing that I paid for. Now I pay $200 a year for IPTV. Way cheaper. And the thing is, you cannot do it on a Roku. Like Roku blocks it. Roku is literally working for all those streaming services. And here's the thing, the other thing, they all throttle your content. And people are like, "What do you mean throttle my content?" So if they have an agreement with Netflix, let's say they have an agreement with Netflix and not with Hulu, your Netflix is going to be throttled and work really well, and then your Hulu is not going to work as much. And they do that. I also use a VPN, so they can't throttle my content. So that's my only subscription cost anymore is my VPN. And then for my IPTV, it's technically a subscription. I pay it every 6 months. If you didn't know the first episode of Lost, they were all dead. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing, like, and people speculated that. Like, that's where it was going. So if they said we don't know, had they said we don't know how we're going to end it, then I would have been okay with that. But they said, "Oh no, no, we know how we're going to end it," and people were like, "Is it a purgatory ending?" They completely guessed it, and no, 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 nope, we're not doing that. That's what they did. That's what they did. It was stupid. People making a big deal about ending in a church, that wasn't a big deal to me. I don't care where you ended it. How you ended it is what I cared about. I've never watched Hellhound. Hellhound, if you want IPTV, I can. Yeah, IPTV. I jailbroke it. I use an app called TV Mate, which is a great one for IPTV. And yeah, you can actually there's people who they do streaming bundles. Okay, so they have a server where they paid for Netflix, they paid for Hulu, Disney Plus, all this stuff, your local cable channels, and then they put them into a server, and then you pay them to get access to their server. I can literally watch my hometown local news. on my Fire Stick. And my brother's got Roku and he loves Roku and he's like, "Hey, I want to do that." I'm like, "Yeah, you can't do it on Roku. They won't let you. If you jailbreak a Roku, they're gonna shut it down." Lots of people hated the end of The Sopranos. I thought it was perfect. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Oh, they did initially because people didn't know is Tony dead or not. Like I took it for what it was. I was like, "Oh yeah, he's dead." Uh, and that's why people didn't like it. I get it. And but I agree with you. Screenshot. It was. I think it was a perfect ending. Uh, it's just yeah, people wanted to know definitively if Tony was dead. Um, but the whole show was told from Tony's perspective, and if he's killed in the last episode, you're not going to see anything. So that's why I think it was perfect. Yeah, it does. I get multiple History channels. History Channel has like 3 different things. So yeah, it's got that. And here's the other thing I like about it. On those servers, if they don't have a movie or a TV show, um, I just ask the guy who owns the servers. Like they give you ways to message them, and I'll be like, "Hey, can you get me this movie?" I'm trying to think. There was a movie I was trying to watch. It was an old. Um, It was an old movie with Michael Keaton. Came out the same year as Batman, where it was Michael Keaton, Peter Boyle, um, what's his name? Doc Brown from um, Back to the Future, and they're all mental patients, and they're going to a baseball game, and their doctor gets attacked and knocked unconscious, and it's about them going through New York City. In fact, it's where I got this clip from here.
It's because we're a special combat unit with the United States Marine Corps. We've been tracking some Libyan terrorists. In fact, I think we've got them trailed to a bagel shop around the corner.
So yeah, that movie. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but they didn't have that movie on the server, and I just messaged the guy. I was like, "Hey, can you get me that movie?" And like an hour later, he's like, "It's up. You can watch it." And it's not a torrent. That's a lot of people are like, "Oh, is that a BitTorrent?" No, it's IPTV. When people overseas, a lot of them use IPTV, and that's where I learned. And yeah, they're not torrents. In South Dakota. Oh, okay. I've never been to South Dakota. I am going to Mississippi and Louisiana for the first time this week. Um, I will be in New Orleans for Halloween. Never been to either of those 2 states, and I think I got to redo the count. I think that makes 37 states, 37 or 38 that I've been to. Okay. Is everything good, John? It looks like you guys are getting released, so it looks like everything's good. I think I'm going to end this because Georgie and Coop are going to be starting soon, and I want to get some things done before because they're going to have me join them for reading, and I've got to do a couple things before I get in there. So I'm going to end a little bit early than what I normally do. I still will turn on the redirect because that will take us all to their little like their green room, I guess I would say. Um, where's it at here? There we go. So I'll be in there. I'll probably keep it up on my phone so I can chat if anyone needs me. Um, and then I'll go back in the group. Fun messing with the retards today. Fun doing that. Wonder if they'll make more posts about me. Thank you for watching, retards. Ooh, oh, that's an old thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna get going. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, for all the questions, comments. It was a fun show today. I'm glad we were able to do something a little bit longer today. All right, you guys have a good one. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.
the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.